Welcome to the Morale Booster Network, a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. I remain your host, Dr. John Ugulu. I am an author, speaker, and strategist. I always say experience is the best teacher. You can stream or download this podcast from YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Google Podcast, Player FM, and Pandora. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, everybody. Good evening from Georgia. I'm currently streaming from Dallas, Texas. I live in Georgia. It's good evening here. Good afternoon, good morning to everyone from wherever you are listening to me from. I'm happy to say that this program is global. I'm happy to say that people from all over the world tune into this program, and it's a plum pleasant pleasure and a privilege to know that you too, you can see us, you can hear us. So if you're just joining me for the very first time, I want you to please like and share this broadcast. Here's the reason why. Because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear the message that we have to deliver today. Today, I have a guest. She's an experienced woman, a woman who believes so much in leadership, because we all know, just like what John Maxwell would say, everything rises and falls on leadership. So today I brought in a leadership expert who would come and ignite that leadership fire inside of us. So welcome once again. Like and share this broadcast. Today I want to talk to you briefly before I bring in our guest. I want to talk to you about something that I know that can help you, right? I remember those days when I used to be a very shy person. So shy that I couldn't even imagine myself doing what I do now. I had limiting beliefs, and those limiting beliefs were, activated in my life because of certain decisions that I made, decisions that brought about, that made me feel somehow. At that point, I felt like a loser. I made decisions that made me drop out of college. I made decisions that got me into the wrong circle. I made decisions that did not make my parents proud. Even though my dad was late, I knew I deviated from the foundational values that were instilled in me. And I knew every day that I saw my mom's face, she was somehow disappointed. But being a mother, she always kept on encouraging me to make me see reasons why someday I would be a better person. And by the special grace of God, I'm happy I was able to embrace that paradigm shift, right? So this message is for you who is currently struggling with a limiting belief. I don't know what your limiting belief is. I don't know if maybe you feel you're not good enough, if you feel you're not smart enough, if you feel you do not have what it takes to lead. Look, I have a leadership expert today who would break those limiting beliefs about you thinking you cannot lead. I have someone here today. So this is what I want you to do. Grab your phone now, go to my page, my Facebook page, and share this broadcast. I am doing the same thing now. Let's see, I would share to my inner circle so that everyone can benefit from what we will be talking about today. So go ahead, share it. I'm doing that right now. Let's see. Okay. You do the same thing. Go to my Facebook page, John Ugulu, JOHNUGHULU. Go there right now and share this broadcast. Look, every day we come across people who get tired of life. We run into people who feel they're not smart enough, who feel they're not good enough. And for that reason, they make up their minds to take their lives, right? Sometimes they think suicide would be the only way out. But that's why we have this program, to give hope to the hopeless, to help those without a voice discover their voice, to help those who think that they are worthless understand that they are worthy, to help them know that they have greatness in them. So please like and share this broadcast. We're not asking you to pay us money for anything. This is a free task, right? Thank you so much. So I want to share with you. First of all, you need to understand what limiting beliefs are. Limiting beliefs are those beliefs or convictions that prevents us from achieving our goals. For example, I see a lot of ladies these days, going out there to, going under the operation knives, and, doing different types of surgery to boost their confidence, to boost their morals. Some of them do this because they feel they're not good enough. But I'm not saying whatever decision you arrive at in terms of helping you become who you want to be, I'm not saying it's wrong, right? But what I'm saying is that limiting beliefs make, sometimes it gives us that doubt. It makes us doubt our abilities. And sometimes we get to forget that we were made in the image and likeness of God. We tend to forget that all we need is just that right circle, the right people, the right words, and we go and do extreme things, right? But I want to share with you today that you are enough. You have greatness in you. You have you you were created as a queen. You were created as a king. Irrespective of what people think about you, it is what you think about yourself that truly matters. My mom would call me back then and say, John, when I was pregnant with you, I used to always have this dream. And in this dream, I'll see a tall, dark skinned man holding a microphone, dressed in suit, and speaking to a crowd. But whenever she said that to me, I always felt some way, because I knew, even though her dreams were, always coming to pass, even till date, when she says, hey, I dreamt of this. I mean, when she says, I dreamt of this, it happens. But I still did not believe, because I had limiting beliefs. I was a shy person. But whenever I said, Mom, I know your dreams come to pass, but this one is not for me, because I don't see myself ever speaking publicly because of my shyness. But my mom would smile and say, don't worry, my son, just wait and see. She was my cheerleader. She was someone who was always speaking those positive words in me. And that's all you need. That's all you need. That's why we bring in professionals, experts who can boost your morale. Because what I say might not resonate with you, but what the other person would say would resonate with you. So if mine doesn't work today, the next person will work. That's why we bring them in. All right. So my mom was always there to comfort me, to inspire me, to motivate me. My question to you is, who is that one person that motivates you? To get past your limiting beliefs, you need that person. You need that circle, that group of, you need a group of friends or group of human beings who can talk to you and make you see who you truly are. So if you are in a circle of people who only call out people's flaws, trust me, that's going to increase your limiting beliefs. You don't need that. You must be intentional about the places you go to. You must be intentional about the people you hang around. If you have not been doing that, this is a time for you to think about it. Be intentional about the company you keep. My communication mentor, Mr. Les Brown, would say, hang around OQP, only quality people. And this is it. I wrote a book titled The Morale Booster. And in that book, I talked about steps and strategies on how you can regain your confidence. I talked about ways in which you can overcome limiting beliefs. And if you have not purchased that book, I want you to go out there and look for it. Look for it. When reading a book, it doesn't mean that you have to read everything to get the message. It might just take only one line from that book to change your life. I was at the airport today and I heard a lady proudly saying, I don't like to read. And I hate it. I hate to read because if I get a book now and I read that book, I'll feel I have wasted my time. She said reading is like, a time waster for her because she feels that the time she would use to read, she will be doing her job. So I don't want you to be like that. Reading will change your life. Thank God right now we have ebooks. If you don't like to read hard, you know, books, paperbacks, or just go online, purchase the ebook and read it. You can listen to them while driving. Audiobooks. Go and start buying books. Go and purchase my book, The Morale Booster, and you will be able to overcome limiting beliefs. Number one, change your circle, find the right people who would always inspire you. Number two, always remember that you were created in the image and likeness of God. Number three, it doesn't matter what people think about you. You are an abode of greatness. You have greatness within you. Okay? Thank you so much for listening. Please like and share this broadcast. Now, I will bring in our trailblazer. I will bring in the lady who I personally would learn from. And I will not just learn today, I will continuously learn from her. She is no other person but Sharon Seivert. Yes, Sharon is a great woman. She is a business founder and leader. And for the past decade, Sharon and her international colleagues at Core Coaching and Consulting have guided senior leaders and business owners to grow their companies without burning out themselves or the people who work for them. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want to bring this trailblazer, this leader, this woman of influence, no other person but Sharon Seivert. Sharon, thank you so much for joining me on this program.
Thank you. I feel like I've just won an Oscar. I thank you.
You have.
It was a great introduction. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you
very
for
welcome.
having me tonight.
The pleasure is all mine. And look, they say every day above ground is a blessed day,
It's great.
right?
Right. Yes,
Yes.
right.
It took us a lot of ups and downs, running here and there to get this to work, even though we're late, but we know that we have an assignment, not just to ourselves, to the
Yes.
people out there to inspire them. And yet you were so patient. Look, I learned that from you right now, to
Whoa,
be
thank
extremely
you.
patient. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, we were saying that it's when it works, it's like a miracle. And
Yes.
when it doesn't work, we just have to keep poking the buttons until it does. So we're in a very good place.
Great, 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 great. Thank you so much, ma'am. And look, your profile says a lot about you. Now, before we go into the main leadership questions
Sure.
proper, um, do you mind just sharing your journey with me, like your professional journey from your you working in you being an employee to where you are right now?
Absolutely. So I have almost always been an independent worker.
Okay.
I came out of school. I helped start an organization, group health plan, a family planning center. I went into healthcare first, innovation in my town, and then into consulting about these matters. I sort of accidentally did it right. Do you know? I mean, had all of these great people around me, and we stumbled into these things working well, so that the group plan I started had the earliest break even in the industry. It has not yet been broken, that industry. So we again, instinctively and accidentally did a lot right, largely because we used everyone's talent. Everyone who was with us
Right.
contributed mightily to it. So it was this wonderful group effort of people in my community to bring healthcare to everyone.
Mm, wow,
So
healthcare,
yeah.
and that's a great one. That's an industry I am so interested in because I have a background in clinical research. So when I
Very
hear
good. Yeah.
healthcare, all ears up,
Yeah.
So I know you were a CEO of a group health plan.
Yes.
All right.
And yeah,
So,
and then from there, I went into consulting, into working with other people to facilitate their work,
right.
and then eventually founded the Core Coaching Consulting. I did a lot of writing along the way because I was trying to like figure out what we had done that worked and what we had done that hadn't worked, and put it out for other people. And that was a good part of my journey. I learned a lot from seeing from trying things with other people who allowed me to help them,
Right.
and then learning from everybody's journeys.
Right. So you've been a C-suite executive like for the longest part of your life, and so
Yeah.
leadership is something you have so much experience in.
Right, and I would just have to say I stumbled my way through to where I am now. There were all of these opportunities, and we did a lot of things right. We capitalized on these things, and we went. But I've always been independent in this work, or starting organizations, and I
Okay.
guess that's the leadership part that we were talking about.
Great. So when you say you stumbled your way in, trust me, you didn't stumble your way in. If not, if you had done that, you would have been pulled back down. That's just the truth. You
Yeah.
grew because you deserved it, right? Yes. So thank you so much for sharing that. So let's go straight into um, the main business for today. Now,
Certainly.
when it comes to leadership, last week someone asked a question, and he asked if leaders are born or if leaders are made. So, what's your opinion on that? Are leaders born or are leaders made?
I believe that leaders are made, and I am in the business of helping leaders make themselves
Yes.
leaders from the inside out. And all of us are born with these potential powers of leadership. And again, I like to help people develop that, even if they're just leading their lives
Mhm.
strongly, bringing their gifts into the world. So we all have these natural powers, and that's what I write about. We all have these natural powers to become great. You were talking earlier about greatness and how we are. It's our obligation, our responsibility to step into the greatness that we've been offered.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So I am of that school of thought as well, that leaders are born and leaders are made. Because I think, like you rightly said, we were all born with that innate gift of leadership. So in the process of growing up, we have to decide if we're going to lead towards direction A, B, C, or D, right?
Right, right.
And in
Are we
that
going to lead
development,
for good or are we going to lead for ill, right? Which one are
exactly,
we going
exactly, for good or for bad,
to
Yeah,
do?
so that's where the mentorship comes in, right? And
Yeah.
that's where the saying that leaders are made comes in. So I really do appreciate you for sharing that. Now, for the that leader, that developing leader, that emerging leader, that young woman, that young man who is aspiring to become a leader, what's your um, advice for them? Okay, as a leadership coach now, what would you suggest that they do to help them grow and achieve that leadership?
Yeah, I'd like to answer this in two ways. The first thing is that I like people to realize that they have a compass in their hands about how to
Right.
become a leader. And I use that image of a compass, the center, the four directions, and the wheel that holds it all together.
Okay.
So I like leaders to develop themselves from the inside out, from the
Right.
core out, from their
Mm,
soul out.
right.
And once they do that, they can align with all the other quote elements. I mean, this is an image that's a human instinct that is all over the world. It's everywhere.
Right.
So if you're talking about Asia, Africa, North America, South America, it is everywhere.
Mhm.
So once you develop the core, then you can vision. And this is where your thing about limiting beliefs comes in.
Right.
From your core, you can lift the lid on these limiting beliefs and you can see the world freshly and you can have a different mental diet. You were talking about different ideas. And once you've cleared the mental field that way, then the third step is that fire you talked about.
Right.
Really being on fire for something and knowing that you have a purpose and a bold purpose, and we want you to go out there and do that. But now that fire inside you is aligned with your core, with your soul and your vision, which is your mind, and then this will you have.
Right.
After that, we get the company of good people, like you spoke about. We
Mhm.
choose much more carefully the people who will help us become great. We
Right.
gather around and we work with them. Like I said, when as I went through my development, I had a lot of people I was working with, and together we made really good sense. And then the fifth element, the fifth power that people have is that of structure, of putting things into order, and everything that you've figured out so far, we now have new habits that you didn't have before. So
Right.
you're getting things done. And the last power that helps leaders become great, people become great, is synergy, the context, how everything is aligned. And then, woo, these leaders just can do no wrong. I mean, they just really can go out in the world. And I think that that's why I look back at my own past and I sort of realized these were the powers that I accessed in order to get these great things done that I really did not know or was not trained to do, but I was
Right.
led because of these natural instincts for that all leaders have access to. So if you're starting out as a leader, my advice is that you don't have to do it in the old ways. You
Okay.
don't have to be an old kind of leader. And I really want to emphasize this for emerging leaders because I believe in my bone marrow that we are entering a new era of
Yes.
potential leadership, of what is happening in the world. There are openings happening now that we didn't have before. And I'd like to use a historical comparison, which is that the Middle Ages ended with the bubonic plague. 2 years approximately in every place it traveled in those old days. So from 1348 to 1350 in Florence, there was the bubonic plague, which ended the old way of doing things, the Middle Ages, and then started the Renaissance,
Mm.
where people like Da Vinci and Michelangelo and many, 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 many others blossomed. And it wasn't that those great people didn't have were not there previously. It's just that when the Renaissance came, they could move, they could be
Right.
seen, they could
Right.
act. And that's what I think is ahead for our emerging leaders. I
Okay.
think there is that door opening now. And I want them to become what I talk about as a balanced leader and use these superpowers that get them to greatness. That's what I want for people.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing. Look, if you are listening to us right now, it doesn't matter if it's via YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, podcast. I want you to pay attention. Look, if you just missed what she said, thank God for technology, right? You can replay, you can pause it, rewind it, take down notes, and manifest it. Because she just gives some points that I personally would look into and work with.
Right.
So if you are an emerging leader, someone who knows for sure deep down in your heart that you are a leader, you want to lead,
You're being called.
you're being called to lead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always remember that it is possible and it can be, you can be trained.
Right.
And
You
that's why
can.
we have people like Sharon Seivert to guide you, to help you. Am I right, Sharon?
I am so excited to work with people who want to answer the call. It is my blessing in life, my privilege to stand with these people. I adore my clients. They are movers and shakers. I just am so happy I'm along for the ride with many of them. And there's one other thing I want to say to the people that you talked in the earlier about, the people who are suffering, who are depressed and maybe suicidal.
Right, right.
I want anyone who's listening to this to and who feels this way to realize that in this period of transition, things will get better. They are getting better, and you there's much hope in tomorrow. So at these times of suffering, know that all kinds of people around you are also suffering, and you can relieve your own pain by reaching out and helping somebody else. And when you do this, the burden is lifted from you also. So, in this in between, your suffering is common, it is shared by many people.
Absolutely. I look, I love, I mean, I love what you just said because really and truly, the level of depression globally has increased.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
level of anxiety globally has increased. The level of domestic violence has increased. The level of suicide has increased.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's why we need people like you to always come out and share and speak to the heart and souls of these people. So
Right.
thank you for sharing, Sharon. That was so
We
thoughtful.
are totally in this together. We are totally walking through the suffering together as we move from the Middle Ages equivalent through the pandemic, just like it happened recently, and now into a new era. So hang on for that new era.
That's correct. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And Sharon, you are an author.
Yes.
You have written several books.
Yes.
So can you please talk to us about these books? I know for those of you who are listening to us, um, we have listed her books right there for you to see.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, just tell us where can people find your books?
So you can get, this is my most recent book here. Yeah,
Great.
the superpower of balanced leadership in unbalanced times. We were just talking about the unbalanced times that everyone is suffering through, and the balanced leadership, the superpowers, is what I described earlier, which is
Okay.
the six powers. Okay,
Okay.
and I have a whole superpower of balance series of books, and they can go to Amazon easily and get print book, like I just held, an ebook, and an audiobook, my very first audiobook.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Great. 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 That's awesome. Now, that book you just showed to us right now.
Yeah.
It's only those who are watching us via LinkedIn,
Oh,
YouTube, and Facebook that can see it, right?
oh,
So,
yes.
can you please share with us what the title of this most recent book is?
The superpower of balanced leadership in unbalanced times.
Great,
And this
great.
is about the 6 powers where you can become great, like John's recommending you do.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
great. So, now for those of you who are listening to us via podcast, iHeartRadio, and the other radio platforms, yeah, you would find a list of her books just right there for you to go through. And did you say they can purchase these books from Amazon?
Yes, yes. And I also want to mention that as you and I are trying to have impact and help people globally, that we have lots of free stuff on our website so people can actually go in and learn more about everything I discussed and use it for themselves. We have free events that people can come to where I help them with common obstacles.
Great.
Uh, like next Wednesday is the 19th is the voices of conflict, helping you resolve the voices, the internal voices of conflict, like you talked about limited beliefs. All they have to do is go to our core-learning-services.org site and register. Just come on in and get this free stuff. You get the best of me for no price.
That's
Totally
awesome.
free.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's
Look,
our
please.
way to it's our way to pay it forward. We have lots of stuff we want to pay it forward. And we want you to bring this to your families and your friends and everything.
That's great. So, look, if you're listening right now, you heard what she just said. She has a lot of free items that can help you move from where you are to where you want to be. Now, because this is a leader, she understands the power behind serving others, right? So, please do not miss out on all these. Visit her website. You will find her contact information on the screen for those of you watching us via YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and those listening to us via podcasts and other radio platforms. You can also find her contact information right there for you. All right. So go to the website, take advantage of the things that she has there.
Yeah.
All right. So can people reach out to you via LinkedIn?
Yes, they can absolutely reach out to me through LinkedIn. I have met some wonderful people through LinkedIn recently, ever
Great.
since we brought the book out, and people can check out the Balanced Leadership Program, and they can get a free PDF that
Wow.
details everything we talked about. So if they go to
Wow.
the Balanced Leadership page, they can get a free PDF and learn more about each one of those superpowers I talked about and
Great.
use it themselves. Yeah.
Great. 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 So yes, if you are a business owner, if you run a company, if you are a leader in an organization and you need that leadership expert to help you and your team and your organization move from where you are to where you want to be, if you want them to be able to be more productive, you
Yes.
can always reach out to Sharon Seivert. She's a leadership expert. She has been there.
I have the
Yes.
scars.
Right, right. So she has been there. So she has the technical know-how to help move your team, to help take your team, your organization from where it is right now to where you want it to be. So thank you so much. Go to her website, purchase her book, sign up for her programs, and you would
You're a
not
great
regret
cheerleader, John. You are such a great cheerleader. Thank you so much.
you're very welcome, ma'am. You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. I have learned a lot from you, and I hope when next I call you to come and share, you would be willing to come and join us.
In a heartbeat. This is such an important conversation on so many levels. We're actually trying to help people, everyone, lead
Yes,
their lives differently, lead their lives in a more happy and healthy way.
yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's been a pleasure, and I want you to take care of yourself as I round up for today. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Excellent. Thank you. Bye
You're
bye.
welcome. Yeah, bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Please like and share this broadcast because you never can tell. You might just be saving the life of that one person, that business owner, that team lead, that person, that church leader, that religious leader from wherever. You might just be saving their life, their team by sharing this because this is a woman who has so much experience that just spoke right now. All right. So, for those of you who are going through challenges in your life, I want you to understand that it is a phase. Coming out here to do this doesn't mean I'm perfect, right? As you can see, the background is different. I am in a different state. But because I have chosen to serve, because I have chosen to do what I do, I have chosen to help people like yourself move from where you are to where you want to be. I did not allow that stop us from bringing the message to you. Okay? That's because I have the spirit of serving, irrespective of the challenges. I have my personal struggles. I have people that I look up to when I'm down. And I want you to also have that same spirit. When you don't believe in yourself, believe in other people's belief in you until your belief system kicks in. My mom was my belief system. So believe in other people's belief in you until your belief system kicks in. I don't know where you're listening to us from. I don't know how much you know about yourself. Neither do I know how much the people around you know about you. But hey, here's what I know for sure about you is that you are an abode of greatness. You have all the greatness within you. All right? Remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life. God bless you. Take care of yourself and be safe out there. Bye, everybody.